Rachel Zegler is the gift that keeps on giving. This Disney movie live action flop of a movie. The DA has seen it. He's covered it. He's here sitting in Nick's seat as we break this thing down. The latest news, guys. The latest news. You know the producer that had to fly out to Rachel Zegler's home on 2 different occasions to try to tell her how to behave? Don't do these things, Rachel, because you're going to kill this movie. Well, now the son of that producer, who has his own podcast, has publicly admonished Rachel Zegler as well. That's exactly what we're about to get into. Here we go. All right, everybody. You already know what we're talking about here. The Rachel Zegler gets called out by the son of the producer, who basically said, Rachel, this is how we need you to behave. Well, right before we get there, Rachel Zegler, we all know, she celebrated the movie being the #1 movie at the box office 2 days ago, which, of course, is ridiculous because it's an absolute flop. It's going to come in $200 to $300 million below what it needed to break even. So the movie, like the title says here, is hilariously abysmal. It is now one of the worst rated movies on the IMDb. And now here's the latest news. The Hollywood Reporter broke it out. Snow White producer's son slams immature Rachel Zegler, clearly hurt the film. Now, the message that was posted on Instagram by the son, Jonah Platt, has since been deleted, but have no fears, ladies and gentlemen. We have it right here. So let's zoom in on this, and then, DA, we're going to get you your take here. So this person says to Jonah Platt, your dad flew to New York City to reprimand a young actress. Any words on this? Because that's creepy as hell and uncalled for. People have the right to free speech. No, shame on your father. And of course, that's the big news that happened yesterday when it broke out that Rachel Zegler did all of these things behind the scenes. Well, it's kind of ironic, DA, and you made the point in one of your tweets. It's kind of funny how the movie flops, and now they're going, oh, here's the truth about Rachel.
Oh, yeah. Listen, Disney, they've been running, I guess, kind of pseudo damage control for a while now. They already had canceled the premiere. We saw that. They canceled the London premiere. They canceled the Hollywood premiere because they already knew that this was a dead film walking. It was a dead duck. But they've been waiting. They say, okay, let's wait and see what happens, you know, with the box office. Now that the box office is an absolute disaster, it's time to throw Rachel under the bus, and all of the news starts coming out. And now we're hearing from the producer's son, who's 100% correct. Like, there's nothing you can disagree with when it comes to this. Rachel Zegler and her mouth has absolutely torpedoed this movie to the point where, you know, he mentions it in this tweet that you have blue collar workers, you have, you know, people that worked on this film whose careers were affected by the fact that, hey, we're not going to make as much money as we would have made otherwise if Rachel Zegler had just be a Disney princess. Keep your mouth shut.
Exactly.
Hold the line. Don't do anything that's going to hurt the film. You know, that's the big part. It's like you're hurting. Not only are you hurting your own career, all right, which she is, but you're hurting everybody else that worked on this movie. And now you're affecting people's pockets all the way down the line.
And Rachel Zegler's going to get way more money than those blue-collar workers, people who are working on the set. You know, that's their whole livelihood. You know, you're basically helping sabotage the industry when you're behaving like this. But I got to tell you, it is Disney, and you know, if Disney's going to give us marginal to terrible, you know, shows and movies to watch, entertainment, as you will, then that's perfectly fine with me. Destroy away, Zegler. Destroy it away.
You get what you deserve. And this is who they hired, okay?
Exactly.
They go out of their way to bring in this actress who already had a very controversial, like her social media has been controversial for a long time.
Absolutely, it has.
So why would you want to think about it? Why would you want her to be Snow White?
Because she checks all those boxes.
She is. It's the character of Snow White is a demure, kind, sweet, innocent little angel. You know, somebody that has a pure heart of gold.
Right.
Rachel Zegler is the absolute opposite of that.
Yeah.
I don't understand the choices that were
Well,
made when
well,
it
the
came
one that really should have been Snow White is the Israeli actress who played the witch. She would be a much better Snow White.
in a heartbeat, in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
And the thing about it is Gal Gadot, she understood the assignment. Hey, I'm supposed to be a positive influence on
yeah.
this movie. When I'm out there in public, I want to speak positively. I don't want to attach divisive political commentary. Like
She
this is
knows.
the reason why
Yeah,
he had to fly out there. She's
right.
making all of this political talk. It's like, stop it.
Exactly. Well, let's
Yeah.
look into the tweet here from Jonah Platt. Again, this is the son of the producer of the film. He says, "You really want to do this?" "Yeah, my dad, the producer of an enormous piece of Disney IP with hundreds of millions of dollars on the line, had to leave his family to go fly across the country to reprimand his 20-year-old employee for dragging her personal politics into the middle of promoting the movie for which she signed a multi-million-dollar contract to get paid and do publicity for. This is called adult responsibility and accountability, and her actions clearly hurt the film's box office. Free speech does not mean you're allowed to say whatever you want in your private employment without repercussions. Tens of thousands of people worked on that film, and she hijacked the conversation for her own immature desires at the risk of all the colleagues and crew and blue-collar workers who depend on that movie." DA, I got to tell you, I think that is incredibly fair criticism coming
Oh
from
yeah.
the son of the producer. Now we don't know. We do not know what dad has said, but I would just imagine that the apple doesn't fall very far from the tree here. This is exactly what the son is saying here is exactly the mindset of the producer of the film. I don't think we're going to see Miss Zegler too much more in the future.
Well, they've already talked about like she's moving on. She's going to be doing Evita. She's doing a lot more theater and Broadway. I think that's where Rachel Zegler's career is going to be right now. With the box office doing what it's doing, again, this is destroying, absolutely destroying any possibility of people looking at her in the future as some sort of a box office draw. The
Yeah.
fact that Hollywood has had to go out multiple times and reprimand her on her speech on how she's handling things. He asked her to pull down the tweet and she said no. That
Yes,
was the whole Free Palestine tweet. The
exactly.
producer said, "Hey, pull the tweet down. Take it down." She said, "No. I'm entitled to my speech." It's
And
like,
she's a
okay,
20-year-old that they had to hire a social media guru for to approve all of her messages on social media before she hit submit.
yeah, yeah. Do you really want
Babysitting.
that kind of headache on that and that's the headliner? That is the number one actress. That's the person that's supposed to be. Is that the person you want to deal with, Hollywood? I think Hollywood has figured her out. They're going to move on. No more Rachel Zegler for us, thanks. I mean, maybe,
Absolutely.
5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, after she's done some theater, after maybe she's matured a little bit, she
Yeah.
can come back and do some small roles. But I
Right.
don't think she's going to be headlining. I don't think she's going to be the A-list star that maybe she could have been if
Yeah.
she had learned her lesson. Hey, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut and just act and sing, and that's it.
This reminds me a lot of Brie Larson.
Yes.
Brie Larson being the next up and coming thing, the actress that Disney's putting all their eggs in her basket. She's the next star, and she destroyed it all herself. Plus, the box office numbers didn't help her out at all.
Yeah.
She just
Yeah.
wasn't the type of draw. And now look at her. We'll probably never see her in as a headliner again. She'll make an
Yeah.
appearance, something very small and minute, and that's it. Rachel Zegler, pretty much going to be the same thing. The star that just exploded.
It fizzled out, right? It's like they
Yeah.
call her a supernova, right? They kept saying she's a supernova. Well, a supernova, it burns out fast. All right. It explodes, it burns out, and then it's gone. So yeah, I think her career is pretty much over again in terms of being a big box office draw. But like I said, maybe somewhere down the line, she can find some luck doing smaller roles. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is it for Rachel Zegler, especially when you have the producer of the film coming out, you have the Walt Disney Company. Pretty much, they're not. Hey, say what it is that you got to say.
Yep.
Because she has absolutely torpedoed this movie. So this is her career. Everybody's looking at it just implode, in real time. It's crazy.
And I hate to see that the original message has been removed. I get it. somebody from Disney probably reached out to the family, the producer, the father might have said, "Son, take that down. Well, let's not cause any more controversy. Everything's already bad enough. We don't need anything else, or whatever."
Yeah.
Who knows what
But
happened?
you know what? Shout out to the son for defending his pops.
I agree.
I actually respect that. I respect the fact that he went out there and defended his pops. He didn't have to. He could. He already knows the game, and he knows that it was going to go viral and people were going to start talking about it. But he says, "I'm defending my father anyway." So I give him props for defending his dad, because obviously that family and everybody associated with this movie, they're going through it right now. I mean, it's not doing well in the box office, and they already know this thing is going to be a disaster. All of that hard work, everybody's hard work.
And ironically enough, there's not a whole lot of people, DA, that are in Rachel Zegler's corner here to begin with. It's not like there's this big, huge uprising of pro Rachel Zegler, pro Snow White. Where are you people? We know that
there are some people. The hashtag I stand with Rachel was trending.
Yeah.
I did a video about that. I stand with Rachel was trending earlier.
Not a lot of them though.
It's her little horde of fans. It's a very small horde, but they're very vocal. You know how it is.
It's kind of like Acolyte fans.
Similar to that, yeah.
There's a couple hundred of y'all. That's about it.
Hey, Coach, the one thing we could pray and hope for, let's hope they
I already know
Acolyte season 2.
You already know it. I'll be there. Please give it to us.
And put Rachel Zegler in it.
That's the best. Put Rachel and Bree both in it. Let them be the witches. The power of many.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. All right, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Most importantly, let us know in the comments what you think about Jonah Platt, the son of the producer, lashing back out against Rachel Zegler online. I think that's pretty awesome. Let us know what you think about it. As we always say, we are Echo Base Network. Got our live stream Thursday night, tomorrow night, and then we'll see you guys on the next one.